Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. It's October of 2020 now, which means the channel is 8 months old. In this monthly creator update, we'll be going over changes to the monthly upload schedule and also just doing some stream of consciousness thoughts about how you reconcile living in a capitalistic society with your moral beliefs. We'll of course also go over the analytics for this month as well as lifetime of the channel. I hope you stay tuned. Before we really get started, I want to say thanks to all the returning subscribers. I know this monthly creator series is not necessarily that popular, and I'm totally fine with that. It doesn't really focus on Disney, so I understand. That being said, the past couple months, I think the interactions on the channel have been super great. I've loved chatting with so many of the returning subscribers who continuously comment, so thanks so much to folks like Rosie, Jeffrey, Mandy, Jonna, and more. Let's dive in. For the first topic, we'll talk about the upload schedule. In last month's monthly creator update, I talked about how I've been uploading every 4 days. That's kind of a random thing that I picked, and I was starting to feel like that might not be feasible in the future. This last month at my job has been incredibly busy, and for the first time, I think in a really long time, I have no videos ready to go after this one. I prefer to be at least 2, if not 3 videos ahead of schedule to know that I have time and some wiggle room. Being ahead also allows me time to make sure that the captions are definitely correct, and then I can add descriptions that are meaningful with timestamps. Knowing that I'm now in the heart of the busy season at work, I just know that every 4 days is not going to work out for me anymore. So in general, moving forward, I'm going to post, I think, every Wednesday. I haven't set an exact time yet, but it'll probably be sometime in the afternoon Eastern. This way, on the Pacific, it's morning, but it's not super early, and over at UK time, it's night, but it's not super late. So this past Wednesday, I posted a video about add-ons for Disney Vacation Club. Obviously, this monthly creator update is going up today. And then moving forward, I'll just be posting on Wednesdays from now on, so once a week. These monthly creator update videos won't go in that Wednesday slot. These will stay separate. Typically, I will probably post them on the Saturday that falls near the 10th of the month. Saturday because it's a few days off from Wednesday, and then near the 10th because that's when I track my benchmark statistics from. And if I do manage to get super far ahead in creating videos, then I will post Wednesdays for sure, and there may be an occasional upload of extra Disney content on a Saturday. I'm very interested to see how this goes. One factor I'm very interested in is to see if the stats for the channel drop just because I'm uploading less. The other thing I'm very interested in is in the first 6 hours or so of uploading a video, if because I'm uploading the same day of the week every week, those stats are actually improved. But anyway, so now you'll be able to find me once a week on Wednesdays with an occasional upload on Saturdays. Moving on to the next topic. So if you're tuned into the Disney community, you've probably recently seen that they have laid off a lot of folks. And I mean like 28,000 employees, not a few, a lot. And this affected all sectors across parks. You've got park employees, you have Disney Vacation Club employees, etc. It was really extremely wide sweeping. Universal has also laid off a lot of their team members, and in general across the country, of course, we continue to see more and more layoffs due to the pandemic. Now, of course, there are a lot of factors that go into this. There's your local leadership, there's the national leadership, there's the local public health measures, national public health measures if they exist. There's much bigger picture issues like the fact that in America, our healthcare is tied to our job. The amount of affordable housing that exists is really minimal, and our unemployment system is pretty abysmal. Some of these things are directly related to the pandemic, and others, frankly, are not. Healthcare has been an issue for a very long time in this country, and the pandemic has really just exacerbated a lot of the things we already knew were true. But circling back to Disney, so Disney laid off a boatload of employees. Not only was that the action they decided to take, but the press release heavily insinuated that the governor of California was more or less at fault. The parks out in California have not opened, if you were not aware, whereas the parks in Florida are open. That being said, the layoffs weren't just folks in California, they were folks all over. Additionally, the press release noted that paying for health insurance while folks are on furlough is expensive, and while I'm sure that's true, it seems especially heartless to blame health insurance when we're in a pandemic. Health insurance is incredibly important right now, maybe now more than ever for a lot of people. The press release also noted that a lot of the layoffs of the furloughed workers are part-time workers. Typically in America, you don't actually have to provide benefits to part-time workers unless they're working 30 hours a week or more. I don't know the stats for these particular workers and how many of those did or did not receive benefits, but a lot of part-time workers in general in America do not receive benefits. So placing the blame on healthcare costs for all these furloughed workers who are now laid off or in the process of being laid off is kind of silly to me when, in fact, I bet a lot of those part-time workers weren't even receiving healthcare benefits to begin with. The tactic Disney chose to take very knowingly really felt like they were making all of these 28,000 employees pawns in a chess game between them and the leadership in California. Relationships between Disney and government leadership in local Anaheim, as well as the state of California, I think have a pretty storied past. It's definitely been rocky for sure. And I don't know if Disney was trying to be manipulative on purpose and they thought that this threat would work, but it comes off extremely childish. It also really points to their values. We do live in a capitalistic society, so I'm not disillusioned about the fact that, companies care about their workers. I think a vast majority of companies do not care about their workers. But Disney sells this idea that, it's a Disney family and we really love all of our cast members, blah, blah, blah. And then they go and pull something like this. And aside from the layoffs, for a lot of months now, I've sort of had trepidations about my love of Disney and especially the parks because it's pretty easy to find pretty rampant sexual harassment that's just fine. There are so many stories on Twitter and Reddit, etc. of cast members being sexually harassed, often by other cast members and their managers just saying something to the tune of, "Oh, that's just the way he is." So I am struggling with the company values. Frankly, I think there are a lot of other temporary measures you could have taken before laying off 28,000 people, and even if you had to do that, the way it was framed was terrible. I'm well aware that the worth of the company is not the net amount of cash that they have on hand at any given time. That being said, I also interact with boards, and I know that they can pull a lot of levers. Instead of pulling those levers to try to keep as many people on board as possible, it seems like they are just trying to keep the execs happy and the shareholders happy. And really, that's not what Disney is about to me, so like I said, I'm struggling. And just so I'm not singling out Disney alone, Universal similarly laid off a ton of team members, super disappointing. I'm less integrated in that community, so I don't really know the specifics. But moving past layoffs into something else, obviously with the former author of the Harry Potter books coming out as really the person that they choose to be, I'm pretty hesitant about giving my money to that park because I don't know how much of it goes to said former author. Similarly, if I were to eat in the wizarding world of Harry Potter, how much of those profits go to the author? And not only on an individual scale, I would like to know exactly how much of my money goes to that person so I could donate it to good causes to help set that off, but also it'd be nice to know on a global scale approximately how much a year does this author who shall not be named get from Universal Parks. Ultimately, I'm having a really hard time right now reconciling my moral, personal beliefs with the capitalistic society that we live in. It's not really possible, I think, for me to do everything per my moral beliefs reasonably because we do live in a capitalistic society, and if I were to not support all of those companies because of the various choices they've made recently and really forever, I don't know. I don't know how I would live, if we're being honest. So there's got to be some sort of balance, and I'm just not sure what that is for me right now or moving forward. Obviously, going to Disney World makes me extremely happy, and that's something that I cherish a lot. That being said, I think that the consumer has a decent amount of power in a capitalistic society where if consumers stop purchasing things, stores will stop stocking them, for example. Or if consumers express enough outrage about an advertisement, it typically gets pulled. While certainly we don't have the power of the board or anything like that, I do think there is some influence there. I'm just not sure how I want to exercise it moving forward. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts about this entire debacle. I maintain that I don't think there's any right answer necessarily, but I am pretty upset with the way that everything's gone down. Last up in this video, let's go over the analytics. First, we'll start with month 8. The day that I'm filming this is October 9th, so the analytics are going to run from September 11th through October 8th. This is effectively 2 days short of the full month for me, but it's fine, it's close enough. In month 8, there were 1,330 views from 625 unique viewers. This resulted in 130 hours of watch time. Average view duration was 5 minutes and 51 seconds. This translates to an average viewed percentage of 46.4%. I got about 14,800 impressions, and 19.5% of those were from YouTube recommending my content. 61% of my watch time was from folks who are not subscribed, and we got 26 new subscribers this month. Overall, most of the stats are actually down from month 7, which is a little bit disappointing, but it's not such a huge dip that I'm necessarily concerned. Views decreased by about 100, unique viewers decreased by about 50 people. Last month I got 37 new subscribers as opposed to 26 this month. Subscribers is honestly, it feels so random to me. I have no idea how to know what it should or should not be. It seems like it ebbs and flows a lot, so that I really try not to focus on. Watch hours is about the same. It's 1 hour down from last month, but again, this has 2 less days in the calculation than last month's calculation did, so no big deal. Impressions are down by actually a couple thousand impressions. This is the first month where my impressions have decreased, so I am a little concerned about that, but I don't know how much I can do about that really. That being said, my average view duration time is actually increased, and my average view duration percentage is exactly the same. Also, even though a lot of these stats are down, one thing I'm thrilled about this month is my not subscribed is only 61% now, so I'm very close to 60-40 watch time from not subscribed to subscribed. Last month it was around 68%, so this is a pretty good improvement to me. Even if that means overall maybe less people are watching my videos, it does signal to me at least that some of the folks who are subscribed enjoy my content and continue to watch more or less most of the videos I put out, so that's great. Moving on to lifetime stats for the channel. There's over 4,800 views now, which is great. We're closing in on that 5,000 number. There's close to 430 total watch hours. Average view time lifetime is now up to 5 minutes and 19 seconds. Average view percentage is the same as last time at 46.6%. There's over 55,000 total impressions for the channel, and 19% of those are coming from YouTube recommending my content. And lifetime watch time from those not subscribed is at around 68% now. Overall, currently the channel has 165 subscribers. For other social media, over on Twitter, I have 582 followers and I am following 586 accounts. And on Instagram, I have 110 followers and I am following 200 accounts. I have made a concerted effort to try to be a little bit better at Instagram, but typically when things are happening either in my personal life or my job or the world at large, Instagram tends to be the thing that I lose first. It just goes away and I stop paying attention to it. I'm trying to check in more often, even if I'm not posting as much, I'm still trying to scroll through and provide comments and like other people's content. Overall, the Disney Vacation Club content continuously does a lot better than the Walt Disney World content. I'm totally fine with that. It makes sense to me because I think there's just less good DVC information readily available. I do still enjoy making the Walt Disney World content, so I probably will continue to do that. And this month was my first ever guest appearance on a podcast over on the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. I had a really super fun time doing that. So even if my stats stay a little bit stagnant for the next few months because I'm uploading less or for whatever reason, honestly, I do feel like a big part of this whole hobby for me was to try to find other Disney folks that I connected with. And for example, the Monorail family, I think, seem like they are great people and I interact with them a ton on Twitter. And obviously we chatted a lot during the podcast and after we talked for a long while too. So regardless of stats, and like I said, I'm trying not to fixate on numbers, I do feel like I'm finding a lot of really wonderful people between all of the social medias. And I think that's what counts to me. If you're watching this, you probably honestly are one of those people. So thank you so much. I tend to bring up somewhat potentially controversial topics in these monthly creator videos. For example, we tackled mansplaining before. I really have never received an onslaught of super negative comments or anything that I would consider to be bullying. And I'm so thankful that whatever small part of this community I found myself in, folks are really respectful. A big part of the aspect of the community to me is that back and forth. I really do cherish being able to get a peek into other people's minds' eyes to see what other views I should be considering. So I really do want to hear how you feel about how Disney handled the layoffs, the way the press release was worded, and if you are going to perhaps change any of your consumer habits at all due to this. Same for Universal, or really any other company, honestly. Let me know if there are things that I should be aware of. So please do provide your comments down below. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. And if you want to chat on other platforms, you can find me at PixieDustPhD on Twitter and Instagram. If you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you're a subscriber, but just in case you aren't, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Ring the bell icon for notifications whenever I post new videos. But from now on, at least in the near future, it's going to be Wednesdays. Also, I can't believe I just did the finger snap and point thing. Yay, the internet. Alright, I hope you all have a super magical rest of your day, and we will see you next time. That'll be Wednesday at PixieDustPhD.